Hi, beautiful humans. How are we doing? So, how's this full moon treating you? The full moon is actually on my Mars. So, as you've seen, I've been a very busy, busy bee. Um, we're not doing signs, we're having a hangout. And if you have a sign, go ahead and check out your full moon message. I've posted a bunch of full moon messages. I'm almost done. I think I only have 4 left. Otherwise, your message is probably on my main page. Go check it out. Check out what this full moon is asking you to release and let go of so that you can go ahead and make room for the changed energy that requires you to shift into the new paradigm, the new alignment. And yes, this is Scorpio, so there needs to be a level of acknowledging that you need to end something, that you are meant to let go of something, either end something or let go of something. Scorpio is about the death of things being completely, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto unearths things so that we can go ahead and shift our energy so that we release any old stagnant energy that needs to be finally let go of in order to change our lives. Thank you, Goldilocks. Hi. I know that you saw my daughter. Hello. Good to see you. So guys, what are you releasing? What are you letting go of? Do you want to go ahead and share? I will then share it with everybody else. I know that for me, there has been a level of releasing old stories that I've been stuck in. I've been stuck in certain stories that actually, after living this life here in my new home, in the new ley line of energy, hasn't been true. Actually, I carried a bunch of stories with me from LA that I lived in for an extended period. I mean, I lived in LA for upwards of 20 some odd years. And, most of my adult life was lived in LA. And the stories that I created there became the stories that, molded me. Some are amazing, beautiful stories, and others are not. And my story of, love specifically wasn't a good story. LA is definitely not a fun place to date. It's, at least for me, it wasn't. Actually, I can't make everybody's story my story, right? That's something that we also have to be aware of. Your story isn't everybody else's story. All of us have different energies in different places, and some of us have to walk the avenue of healing in order to get to the other side of that. And to be honest, when I moved here, a lot of healing happened. Some amazing experiences of breaking old cycles and letting them go. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. But instead of anger, I'm dropping into a lot of healing. I used to really deal with this in a very upset, angry place, and my energy here, specifically in New Mexico, is so vulnerable and cryy, and I'm a Capricorn, so it's not my comfortable place to be crying. And thank God that I've gotten to the stage in my life where I don't wear eye makeup often, so that I can cry and I can get all this and it not be all over the place. Thank you so much, Goldilocks. But the part of me that feels that I'm ending is the part of me that isn't healing in a physical way. I have a residency that I'm doing here at Collect Santa Fe for June. I will be doing readings in person there all of June. So if you know Collect Santa Fe, make sure to come see me on Sundays. Sundays I will be doing messages and IE readings on Sundays at Collect Santa Fe. And I started my channeling and it's been going really well, where it is very cleansing and healing for the groups that come together. They've been so powerful, and they've for the most part all sold out. So that is going to happen here on May 19th is the next channeling. So please, if you're here in northern New Mexico, come and be a part of it. It is only a $40 drop-in right now, because I really want to go ahead and get as many people to feel the energy of the healing that happens when you sit with Source. So that is what I'm ending. I'm ending only doing my work on the other side of your phone or your television if you watch me on YouTube. That is ending. The next chapter is having me come to you where you live and doing collective big groups of channeling, or here in New Mexico where we already have the beginning groups happening of healing in groups. So that is what I'm ending, to allow the next chapter in my life. What are you ending? To allow the next chapter in your life. A big part of that for me was protection, because in LA there is a lot of energy vampires, and so I needed to create the tools to, protect myself from collective energy. And now I have the tools, and now I'm also aware that I am protected no matter what. I have, on the other side, I have a lot of angels, as well as sources always holding that space for me. So I want to open this up. So if you guys want to receive any guidance, I haven't done live channelings in a moment. And if you have a question for Source, all that I ask is that you share your birthday and that you ask the question very clean cut. If you're asking about another person, make sure that you add their birthday as well. I'm going to do a collective message here for you. You're going to ask a question to Source, and Source is going to make it a collective message for the message that you're getting. So if you're getting a message, it's going to become a collective message for everybody, because if you're here watching this, Source will make the person's personal message your collective message. So you guys feel free to ask any question that you want from Source. Okay, so Goldilocks, oh, I hear that. Will you come see me in Santa Fe? Come see me in Santa Fe. If you're a friend of mine and you don't know that mi casa is su casa, reach out to me. You guys, I'm so open to having visitors. I'm so open for you guys to feel the energy of Santa Fe. It is so powerful. It is so beautiful. And I love when I have friends that are family. My friends are family. Come visit. All right, so the first question that will be made into a collective message is coming through. So your birthday is 4/15. My Aries girl or guy, I'm not sure with your name. And your partner's birthday is 5/12. You're not asking, okay, so what is your birthday? What is your question? Their birthday is today. Your birthday is an Aries. I get it. But what's your question? And by the way, I think that if you are in any way, shape, or form with a Taurus, you need to go watch the Taurus reading that I did for today. All right, what's your question? Flow with the birds. I see the birthdays, but what's your question, so that we can make it a collective message? Well, listen, I'm still waiting for your question. There's always a lag on these, and people feel like I'm not paying attention, but it's just, it doesn't come through. One of the things that I want you to know about this full moon in Scorpio is that the pressure that you're feeling, if you are feeling any pressure, it's because you're holding on to something that needs to be released, alchemized, or your way of looking at it needs to be different, right? So I keep getting, for most people that are feeling this full moon, in a way that feels suffocating, that they have allowed certain things in their life to, it's a good way of describing it is that you've thought that certain things would just change over time, over you loving them, over you giving to a situation. Source is saying a lot of this full moon energy is about you being complacent about what must change in you to change the circumstances that you're currently in. And so, okay, so I love that. I guess that's my question. So Flow with the Bird says, why are a lot of discord and I having a hard time understanding each other? And we can't be working through, we're supposed to feel the weight. Are we supposed to feel the weight? Okay, so again, let me repeat the question. We are in a lot of discord right now and having a hard time. Are we meant to work through it and feel the weight? Okay, so for the Aries and the Taurus, listen, exactly what I just said is the message. The message for anyone feeling the uncomfortableness currently with this full moon is in the things that you've accepted for a time, if they would change. And Source is saying you're meant to look at these things as something that you have to accept about a person. If you are with someone hoping that they change a certain behavior that they still haven't changed, and have acknowledged that they don't want to change, you need to accept that. They're not going to change it. They know, they're aware, and they're not willing to change it. Are you willing to accept it? And this full moon is showing you how a part of you is not willing to accept that. What must you do in your heart to accept it? By shifting your behavior, by doing something. Like what I'm getting for you is that you need to find yourself finding your happiness apart from this partnership in order for you to be at peace. Because the person that you're with doesn't find joy in the same things that you find joy. So Source is saying, if you're with someone that has very clearly shown you that they're only going to take your joy away from the experiences that you think will find, like Source is saying to me, this person is going to be the rain on your parade because they don't want to do the things that you want to do. They don't find the same joy that you find and the things that you find joy in. And Source is like, how about if you didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater? How about if you allowed yourself to look at all the qualities that this person has, all of them, and then looked at the qualities that you don't like, and then decided that the things that you don't like about them are things that you're meant to find joy in on your own? Can you do that? Or are you going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? It says, find the joy in the things that you find joy in, and then see the oxygen come back into the fire of your relationship because you're not obligating them to be your joy. All right. Okay, so the next question is that your birthday is 12/10, you're Sag, and your brother's birthday is 2/7. Will my brother find happiness and peace? Okay. So Source is saying to me for the 12/10, and this is the collective message, but it's your personal message. Source is saying that when your brother is not at peace, you find yourself not being at peace. And Source says your brother is a grown-ass man. And if he has hurt feelings over things that you do, you have to let him have hurt feelings about the things that you do that he doesn't agree with. Source is saying the people that are the most hurt by our actions are the people that sometimes wish they could be as free as we are, right? Some people get their hurt feelings from jealousy, from admiration, from judgment. And the judgment comes from wishing they were more like you, where you say exactly what's on your mind and you don't consider how it may hurt that person's feelings. But the question is, why is the person getting their feelings hurt? Why do they have to take everything personally? Is the world a Nerf ball? No. And your brother knows you well enough to know that if he asks your opinion, you're going to give it to him honestly. You're not going to, for lack of a better way of saying it, sugarcoat it. So when he finds himself with hurt feelings, is it your responsibility, or does he want you to change your format of being so that, you know, you can confirm what he should be changing? Let's be honest. So Source is saying sometimes certain people in our lives ask our advice only so that we can confirm what they want to hear. And Source says, you as a sister to the brother that always seems to do this, find yourself understanding this and say, do you want my honest opinion, or do you want me to tell you what you want me to tell you? And I just had that happen with someone, so I get it. All right, hopefully that helped. So somebody else asked, I'm asking about love. What should I do in regards to the situation that I'm currently in? They're 7/16, Cancer, and they are 12/3. All right, what should you do? Let's see. Source says, how about if instead of planning for a future that may never happen, you enjoy the moment that you're currently in? And this is true of all of us, right? We find ourselves in relationship and we're always planning for, what is this? Is this going to be my forever? We are consistently planning for something ahead instead of being in reverence to the feelings that we're currently having. So Source says, if you find the joy in the beginning of the story, right? We never get the beginning of a relationship again. We only get it one time. So if this is going to be your epic love story, what would you change about your behavior, not their behavior? What would you change about your behavior? If this is your epic love story, what would you change about your behavior, and what would you enjoy more? Right? What would you enjoy more? Would you enjoy the kissing more? Would you enjoy the picnics more? Would you enjoy the dating part more? If you weren't planning for the relationship or for the forever after, what would you revel in? And the discovery of knowing each other, of discovering each other, of becoming someone that you're discovering in dating somebody new? That's what Source wants you to know about this situation. All right, let's see. I'm loving all the comments. Can I help him know that they're for him, that his family cares for him? No, you can't. So, Mads, the main thing that Source is telling me is this regarding your brother. He gets more attention for playing the victim than he gets for playing the victor in his life. So if you keep, and this is what Source is saying to me very clearly, if you keep celebrating his wins instead of his losses, he will choose more wins than losses moving forward. I hope that helped. Does anybody else have any more questions? If not, then hopefully this was enough of a catch-up. Does anybody want to go live? I'm going to finish my messages for you guys in regards to what this full moon has in store for you. I needed to do a touch base with you guys and let you know that I haven't gone anywhere. My voice went for a whole week and I couldn't talk. And I think that source was really trying to give me a timeout because I had really done a lot. I mean, I went to LA and my daughter was here for 2 weeks. And I mean, what I got accomplished in a month was more than one little soul could do while working. And my body was like, guess what? We're going to take the only thing that will keep you working, which is your voice. So it took my voice away from me. And then I got a puppy. And then that took all my attention. So here we are, back to business. And hopefully these messages ring true to you, help you on your journey. And if you're in Santa Fe, make sure to come to my June residency at Collect Santa Fe. And my next channeling, you see my voice is still not here, on May 19th. I'm going to go ahead and post those under my stories, and then they will be under my highlights. And you guys can DM me with any questions. Again, I'm so grateful for you guys, and hopefully my messages help. And as always, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for all of you. Any more questions? I'm still here. I see that some new people showed up, and I am so open to being here, showing up for you guys. And then you guys are so good at showing up for me that I don't mind. So if you have a question, make sure you add your birthday, ask the question. I'm making them collective messages. That means that anybody that watches these gets an extra message by just having you ask a question. So have the courage to ask a question. Ask me a question. Yes, I am, Carolyn. Ask, Miss Virgo. I know that you're a Virgo, but share your birthday so that I can connect to you and make it a collective message. Okay, 8:30. Oh, both of you guys are Virgos. That's right. Lachelle is a Virgo and so is Carolyn. But ask your birthday. Ask your question. I'm a little loopy. I've been working, and then I've been doing the videos, and then I've been taking care of the puppy. So ask your question. I'm waiting. There's a lag, so you guys know. What to expect in the next 90 days? Okay, that's a big question. And 915 wants to say, ask how to reignite the inspiration, how to get consistent. That's a very Virgo question. All right, we'll start with Lachelle, and then we'll go to Carolyn. Okay, Lachelle, what you should expect within the next 90 days, and we're going to focus on what source feels you should focus on within the next 90 days, and somebody here may need the same message. All right, what does Lachelle need to focus on for the next 90 days? 8:30. Rewrite the script. You know, and if you were here earlier when I was talking about me, I had a story that I was living into in my relationships in LA. And when I came here to Santa Fe, my story became completely different. And I didn't try to rewrite it. It just rewrote itself through my experiences in regards to relationships. And since I've been here, the story's different because the people are different, and the way men show up for me is completely different here in LA. So you need to live into believing that some story that you have in your heart is presenting itself through all the synchronistic things that are happening for you right now. You're having these things already show up for you differently, but you keep revisiting the past thinking that the story needs to continue, and the story only continues if you visit the past. So I needed to visit the story that was happening here, and the story that's happening here is completely different than the story that was happening in LA for me on a multitude of things. But For some reason, Source is telling me your heart specifically. So Source is saying for the next 90 days, in whatever part of your life seems the most heartbreaking right now. And for all of us, that's something different. It's time to rewrite the script. And that happens first in living in the imagination of what it feels like to have it different. When I came out here, just to give you an example, I dated myself because I didn't know anybody. So I would take myself out on dates. And actually I moved out here with a girlfriend who, her and I dated each other. We pretended that we were the loves of each other's lives. And actually we are currently still the love of each other's lives. So if you don't have, use your girlfriends as the stand-in, as the way that you want to be loved, the way that you want to be, wined and dined. Treat the people in your life the way that you want to feel and experience. And that could be a girlfriend, that could be your children. It doesn't matter. But the feeling needs to be ignited within your body by feeling it. How does it feel to have people show up for you and you show up for them? It has to be felt. It has to be a vibration that you choose over the vibration of misalignment and hurt feelings, because Source really can only meet you on the feeling that you believe is possible. And believe me, my life was filled with trauma. In my life was filled with traumatic experiences that were way more comforting to me than the experiences of people showing up for me fully in love, until I came here and everything was different. And so I did different and I felt different. And then I simply leaned into the good feeling more, because the good feeling was the majority of not having a reflection of a past that I kept visiting. And so then it became the thing that I leaned more towards. I'm not saying that it will cure everything and fix everything, because as you guys have been aware of, I still have certain parts of the story that hadn't been healed. But now those experiences are so easy for me to read and choose, right? Because you get to choose the story. You get to choose whether or not that's a chapter that you want to live into. So rewrite the script. And that takes habits of choosing good over bad, choosing feeling good over bad, choosing love over lack, abundance over fear. Hopefully that helped you, my dear. Okay, so love and light, you need to ask a question. And now we're moving to Carolyn. Your real question is, when is the money coming? And how do I need to be? You see, I knew there was a real question there. I needed to answer somebody else's question first. All right, 9:15. So this is the funny part. You got nature calls you. Nature calls you. But you know what I'm getting from this card, my dear Carolyn? What I'm getting is that your nature is abundance. Your nature is that you attract money. Your nature is that you attract money in multiple ways from all different places, and sometimes in magical places that just show up at your door. And that you're meant to repeat to yourself that you don't need to work for money, that money is attracted to you like a magnet. Money comes to me in magical, surprising ways in which I am just floored by and constantly surprised by, because it takes nothing other than me to allow it to come in. I allow money to show up in magical, beautiful, purposeful ways that I know how to multiply. So just repeat that over and over again. Money is attracted to me. Money comes to me. Money is flowing to me. Money isn't something I need to work for. Money And abundance is something that I simply am. I'm abundant in money. I'm abundant in love. I'm abundant in all things because I don't need to create or do anything other than wake up and money shows up just as I do to the day. Hopefully this mantra will help you align to the belief of that, because you need to repeat it until you believe it, because unless you feel it, you cannot attract it. And that is the thing. Remember, your mind, your ego is not your amigo. Your mind is going, but this doesn't make sense. This isn't realistic. But really, what makes sense? What is realistic? We are here talking to someone over the internet, telling you how your life is, and it resonates. And why does it resonate? Because everything is vibration. Everything is a feeling. And I happen to be a magical being that reads frequency and energy, and that's why I can align to you. But you are an instrument that can align to all of the abundance of the universe once you recognize that you are an instrument of vibrational alignment, and your mind gets in the fucking way. So stop letting your ego and your mind get in the way. There is nothing here that you cannot materialize by simply aligning to it in an instant, right now. But you have to make room for it as well, right? Because maybe you're not ready for whatever reason. Your fucking ego and your ego and your realistic way of thinking is preventing you from aligning to it. Your ego and your realism and your materialism. Everything that you think is tangible is just a bunch of lights and vibrations looking like this and that and that. We are all energy beings. That's why you can tell when somebody's good and you can tell when somebody's bad, because you can tell what they're made up of in a frequency and energy. And you happen to be vibrating in the energy of, what do I need to do? Well, you don't need to do anything other than align and get out of here. You're Mercury ruled. Get out of here. So go out in nature where everything feels expansion. And this is why nature calls you. Get out in nature. Nature gets you out of your mind, gets you out of your ego, and lets you feel the magnificence of the magic that your ego and your mind literally distract you from. So maybe you need to unplug. Because when we are plugged into what everybody else is doing and how they're doing it, and this might be what I need to do, and that's the magic bullet of me making a lot of money, you lose your purpose and why you're here. You are a magical being creating something that is only available through you. And it has no competition. And there is nobody else doing it because nobody else is you. There is enough in the universe for everyone, because we are all creating a projection of what we believe is possible. What do you believe is possible? You have to imagine it, and then you have to allow it to show up. And this is true for all of us. And this is regarding love. This is regarding money. This is regarding materializing a feeling of health and abundance and vitality and whatever it is that you'd like to materialize. But it can't happen if you're comparing yourself to others. Because when you compare yourself to another person, all you're doing is putting them on a pedestal that you can never reach. You are exactly the beautiful anomaly of magic that Source wanted you to be. Make sure that you shine really bright in your own specific way, because you have a purpose and all you have to do is live it. All right, hopefully that answered your question. Okay, 614, Miss Gemini, you need to ask your question if you're here. And if you're not here, I think that that would be a great place for us to end, because God, could Source have not made it very abundantly clear how magical the experiences that we're having, right? The thing that I want to end this beautiful download from Source with is that all of this expression, should it be the internet, should it be astrology, they're all navigations. But when you forget that the navigation isn't the person or the thing that knows where you're going, you are. You are. You are the thing that knows. So should it be ChatGPT? Should it be astrology? Should it be another specific guide that you seek guidance from? Don't lose yourself. Your soul knows the way. And only you know your way. And you, magical being, don't lose your way by always going outside of yourself to find yourself, your love, your connection to purpose is with you. Always. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from anything external. It is a feeling that you have to become very good at listening to. So go out in nature. Step into the magnificent beauty of all that is. And only listen to one thing. Should it be your breath and then your heart? And then that thing that drops into your beautiful third eye that lightens your soul. Follow that. I love you. I hope this helped you. And as always, I'm Nettie, and I guide, and I'm simply here to bring you back to Source. Have an amazing full moon in Scorpio.